In today's world, the pace of life seems to accelerate every day. We're constantly bombarded by information, expectations, and pressures. Whether it's work deadlines, personal challenges, or the uncertainty of global events, it often feels like life is a whirlwind spinning out of control. In the face of this chaos, many people find themselves overwhelmed, struggling to keep up and feeling powerless in the face of circumstances that seem beyond their control. In such a fast-moving, unpredictable world, how can we regain a sense of stability and peace? This is where Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, comes into play. It offers a timeless and practical approach to navigating life's challenges. By teaching us how to focus on what is within our control while accepting what is not, Stoicism helps us find clarity amidst the noise and chaos of modern life. In this introduction, we will explore how Stoicism can provide valuable guidance for dealing with the complexities of the world around us and how its principles are more relevant than ever in the fast-paced, uncertain times we live in. Stoicism, a philosophy that originated in ancient Greece and was practiced by thinkers like Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, is built on the idea that we should strive to live in harmony with nature and reason. At its core, Stoicism teaches that while we cannot control external events or the actions of others, we can control how we respond to them. This simple yet profound principle has made Stoicism incredibly relevant in today's world, where the pace of change and unpredictability can often leave us feeling helpless or overwhelmed. In a time when stress levels are high and mental health challenges are on the rise, Stoicism offers a refreshing alternative. It provides a framework for cultivating resilience, self-control, and inner peace, even in the face of adversity. In essence, Stoicism invites us to focus on what we can influence, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, while letting go of the need to control things that lie beyond our power. This mindset is crucial for navigating the modern world, where so many variables are outside our grasp. One of the fundamental tenets of Stoicism is the idea of focusing on what is within our control. In any given situation, there are always two aspects: what we can control and what we cannot. The Stoic approach encourages us to direct our energy and attention only to the things we have the power to influence, such as our thoughts, emotions, and actions, and to accept that external events, such as the actions of others or the unpredictability of the future, are beyond our influence. This principle is not about resigning ourselves to passivity or indifference. Rather, it's about redirecting our focus and energy in a way that aligns with our values and goals. By doing so, we reduce unnecessary frustration and anxiety and cultivate a sense of peace that comes from knowing we are investing our energy where it truly matters. In the following sections, we will delve deeper into the teachings of Stoicism and how they can help us thrive in the modern world. We will explore how the Stoic practice of distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not can lead to greater clarity and emotional resilience. We will also discuss the importance of acceptance and the role it plays in fostering peace of mind and emotional balance. Additionally, we will examine how Stoicism encourages us to reframe challenges and adversities as opportunities for growth and learning, and how we can integrate Stoic exercises into our daily lives. By the end of this exploration, you will have a deeper understanding of how Stoicism can be applied to navigate life's unpredictable twists and turns with greater equanimity and grace. Whether you're dealing with the stresses of modern life, seeking more emotional stability, or simply looking for a new perspective, Stoicism offers valuable tools for embracing the chaos of life and finding peace amidst it. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that originated in Greece and was later embraced by Rome, has long held a profound influence on human thought. Its emphasis on rationality, resilience, and virtue offers timeless wisdom that continues to resonate with individuals seeking peace and fulfillment amidst life's inevitable challenges. Understanding Stoicism requires an exploration of its historical origins, its core principles, and how it approaches life's adversities in a way that is both practical and enduring. Stoicism was founded in Athens in the early 3rd century BCE by Zeno of Citium. Zeno, originally from Cyprus, began developing his ideas after a shipwreck left him stranded in Athens. Seeking wisdom, he became a student of various philosophical schools before establishing his own. He taught in a public space known as the Stoa Poikile, or painted porch, from which the philosophy of Stoicism takes its name. Zeno's teachings were grounded in the belief that virtue, wisdom, and rationality could lead to a life of peace and contentment regardless of external circumstances. Over the centuries, Stoicism was expanded and refined by key philosophers such as Epictetus, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius, each adding their own interpretations and teachings. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, focused on the idea that we have the power to control our responses to external events, even if we cannot control the events themselves. Seneca, a statesman and advisor to Emperor Nero, emphasized the importance of self-control and the value of living in harmony with nature. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor, was perhaps the most famous Stoic of all, as his personal writings, known as Meditations, continue to inspire those seeking wisdom in the face of power, responsibility, and adversity. Stoicism was passed down through the ages and remained influential throughout the Roman Empire, but it eventually faded in prominence with the rise of Christianity. In more recent times, however, Stoic ideas have seen a resurgence, particularly within modern psychology and self-help movements. Today, Stoicism is regarded not just as a philosophical system, but as a practical guide to living a resilient and virtuous life, no matter the trials we face. At its heart, Stoicism revolves around a few key principles that form the foundation of its approach to life. These principles offer a guide to living wisely, focusing on what truly matters and cultivating inner peace. The first and perhaps most important principle in Stoicism is the dichotomy of control, the distinction between what is within our power and what is not. According to Stoic thought, there are two categories of things: those we can control and those we cannot. Our thoughts, actions, and attitudes fall within the realm of our control, while external events, the actions of others, and the past are beyond our influence. The Stoics teach us that our primary task is to focus our energy and attention on what we can control, namely, our own responses to life's challenges. By accepting that we cannot control everything, we are freed from the frustration and anxiety that arise from trying to change the uncontrollable. This perspective allows us to live more peacefully, as we are no longer at the mercy of the unpredictable nature of external events. For Stoics, virtue is the highest good, the key to true happiness. Virtue, defined as living in accordance with reason and moral excellence, is viewed as the only thing truly worth striving for. While external factors such as wealth, health, and social status may seem desirable, they are ultimately outside our control and transient in nature. True happiness, according to Stoicism, is found not in external circumstances, but in the cultivation of virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. By prioritizing virtue, Stoics believe that we can achieve a state of eudaimonia, or flourishing, a life characterized by inner peace and fulfillment, irrespective of external events. This view of happiness contrasts sharply with more modern conceptions of well-being, which often place significant importance on material success or fleeting pleasures. Another central principle of Stoicism is the idea of living in accordance with nature. This does not mean simply existing in harmony with the natural world, but rather aligning our actions with the rational order of the universe. Stoics believe that the universe is governed by a divine, rational principle, often referred to as the Logos, and that by living in accordance with reason, we can align ourselves with the natural flow of life. For Stoics, this means accepting the natural course of events, whether they are positive or negative. Life's challenges, hardships, and even death are viewed as natural and inevitable parts of existence. By accepting the inherent impermanence of life and recognizing that change is a constant, Stoics cultivate resilience and learn to navigate the world with equanimity. One of the most empowering aspects of Stoicism is its approach to life's challenges and misfortunes. In a world where suffering, setbacks, and adversity are inevitable, Stoicism teaches us to embrace these experiences as opportunities for growth. Rather than seeing obstacles as something to be avoided or feared, Stoics view them as chances to practice virtues such as patience, courage, and perseverance. Epictetus famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This perspective shifts the focus from the uncontrollable external world to our internal response. By changing how we perceive and react to challenges, we can transform hardships into moments of self-improvement and character development. Stoicism does not advocate for a life of passivity or resignation, but rather one of active engagement. While we cannot always control what happens to us, we always have the power to choose how we respond. Through this lens, adversity becomes not something to be feared, but a valuable teacher that helps us grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. What makes Stoicism so powerful, particularly in today's fast-paced, unpredictable world, is its focus on resilience and the power of thought. In a society where people often feel overwhelmed by external pressures, Stoicism offers a pathway to inner peace by teaching us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This shift in focus not only helps us reduce anxiety and frustration, but also enables us to live more deliberately and authentically. Stoicism's emphasis on the power of thought is particularly resonant in the modern era, where many are struggling with stress, uncertainty, and external pressures. By cultivating a Stoic mindset, individuals can learn to detach themselves from the chaos of the outside world and find peace within. In this sense, Stoicism offers a timeless blueprint for achieving mental and emotional stability, regardless of what happens around us. At its core, Stoicism teaches that happiness and peace are not dependent on external circumstances, but rather on how we approach and respond to those circumstances. By focusing on what we can control, practicing virtue, and aligning our actions with nature's rational order, we can achieve a sense of tranquility and fulfillment that remains steadfast, even in the face of life's inevitable challenges. One of the most profound teachings of Stoicism is the understanding that while we cannot control external events, we do have power over our internal responses, our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This concept, known as the dichotomy of control, lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy. It encourages us to acknowledge the limits of our influence over the world around us and to focus our energy on what is within our power to change. By shifting our attention to our internal world, we can create a sense of calm and mastery over our circumstances, regardless of how chaotic or unpredictable life may seem. The realization that we cannot control other people, the past, or future events can initially feel disempowering. However, Stoicism reframes this understanding as an opportunity for liberation. When we accept that we are not in charge of everything that happens to us, we become empowered to take charge of how we respond. This shift in perspective allows us to take responsibility for our emotional reactions and our actions, leading to greater self-mastery and resilience. In modern life, we are constantly bombarded with external stimuli, news, social media, work pressures, personal relationships that can lead to stress, anxiety, or frustration. The Stoic mindset reminds us that we do not need to react impulsively to these triggers. Instead, we can cultivate a more thoughtful, measured response. Focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, helps us weather life's storms with greater equanimity and peace. One of the most powerful tools in Stoic practice is the ability to control our thoughts. While we can't always control the circumstances that provoke us, we have the power to control how we think about them. The Stoics emphasize cognitive restructuring, reframing negative or unproductive thoughts in a way that serves us better. This technique is central to achieving inner peace and emotional resilience. Cognitive restructuring involves challenging our automatic negative thoughts and replacing them with more constructive perspectives. For instance, when we encounter a setback or failure, instead of viewing it as a catastrophe, a Stoic might ask, "What can I learn from this experience?" Or, "How can this challenge make me stronger?" By reframing our perception of adversity, we shift from a mindset of victimhood to one of empowerment and growth. This process is not about denying the difficulties we face, but about changing how we approach them. The practice of mindfulness is closely related to cognitive restructuring. Mindfulness involves observing our thoughts and emotions without judgment, allowing us to create distance between ourselves and our automatic reactions. In doing so, we cultivate greater awareness and control over our internal state. Instead of being swept away by negative emotions or stressful thoughts, mindfulness enables us to choose how we respond in each moment. By consistently practicing mindfulness, we become less reactive to external events and more capable of maintaining emotional balance, even in the face of adversity. This is a cornerstone of Stoic thought. By mastering our internal world, we gain the freedom to respond to external challenges with clarity and wisdom. While controlling our thoughts is essential, Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of our actions and behaviors. Stoics believe that virtue, or living in alignment with reason and wisdom, is the highest good. Therefore, it's not enough to simply think wisely, we must also act in accordance with our values. The Stoic focus on action emphasizes the importance of being proactive rather than reactive. Being proactive means taking intentional steps to shape our lives and our responses rather than waiting for things to happen to us. Instead of letting external circumstances dictate our emotional state, we take responsibility for our reactions. For example, if a challenging situation arises at work or in our personal life, instead of becoming upset or frustrated, a Stoic would ask, "What is within my control here?" And, "What is the most virtuous response I can offer?" This approach encourages us to take deliberate action rather than allowing ourselves to be swept up in the currents of external events. The practice of self-discipline is another essential component of Stoic action. Self-discipline involves making small, consistent choices that align with our values and goals. The Stoics recognize that large transformations do not occur overnight. They are the result of countless small decisions and habits. Cultivating self-discipline in daily life allows us to exert greater control over our thoughts and actions, which, in turn, leads to a more fulfilling and purposeful life. For example, practicing self-discipline might involve setting aside time each day for reflection, focusing on physical health through exercise, or resisting distractions in order to complete important tasks. Each of these actions may seem insignificant on its own, but over time they compound to create a life that is more aligned with our values and goals. By prioritizing our time and energy in a focused and intentional way, we build a sense of mastery over our environment and our internal state. Stoicism is not just a theoretical philosophy, it is a practical guide for everyday life. The Stoics developed a range of exercises and practices to help individuals integrate their principles into their daily routines. These practices serve as reminders to focus on what is within our control, cultivate virtue, and maintain emotional balance. One of the most well-known Stoic practices is journaling. Stoic journaling involves reflecting on one's thoughts and actions throughout the day, evaluating how well we adhered to our values, and contemplating how we could improve. This practice encourages self-awareness and provides an opportunity for growth. Each evening, a Stoic might write about the challenges they faced, how they responded, and what they learned from those experiences. Over time, journaling helps individuals develop greater emotional intelligence, resilience, and insight. Meditation is another important Stoic practice. While not always thought of in the same terms as Eastern meditation, Stoic meditation involves mentally rehearsing challenges or reflecting on one's thoughts and actions in a calm, reflective way. In particular, Stoics engage in a practice called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, where they imagine possible obstacles and hardships they might encounter. By mentally preparing for adversity, they build resilience and cultivate a sense of readiness for whatever life may throw at them. Mindfulness, as mentioned earlier, is another powerful tool for maintaining emotional balance. Stoics encourage mindfulness in both moments of crisis and in everyday life, fostering a constant awareness of one's thoughts and reactions. By practicing mindfulness, We become more aware of how our minds work, allowing us to interrupt negative thought patterns before they escalate into stress or anxiety. The cumulative effect of these daily Stoic practices is transformative. As we consistently apply these tools, journaling, meditation, mindfulness, and cognitive restructuring, small changes begin to accumulate over time, leading to a greater sense of inner peace, self-control, and resilience. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that while we cannot control the external world, we can cultivate mastery over our internal world. By practicing these small daily actions, we can gradually shift our mindset, our behavior, and ultimately, our experience of life.